What's up, everybody? What do you know? I'm on time. We are kind of late. Anyway, Diddy's up to his old tricks, but this show, I'm pre-warning you guys, it's gonna be a little shady. It's gonna be a little messy, and it is what it is. So, like the video as the intro, please, because we got a lot to get into.
Make it make sense.
Make it make sense.
One, please. When you reach out to me, make it make common sense, please.
I make it make sense. Are you being nice tonight?
Make sense. You knew what was up.
You take the top, and I'll take the bottom. Just try it.
Surfer. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense. Tell me how you squeeze it. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things that you say. Make it make sense. Tell me about the things of your dreams. Hey, let me work out all the things in between. Make it make sense.
I would have been swallowed up. Have you ever been swallowed up?
No, TD Jakes. Have you ever been swallowed? I would like to this nigga talk about dick sucking on the pulpit.
Okay, y'all. I am still thrown off. I still can't hear out of one of my ears. So we're going to have a good time. These steroids are not working yet. And we're going to have a good time on this Friday night, even though these topics, that's why I threw in Neyo. So let's start with Diddy. There's some people who, have an interest in Diddy.
Diddy? I'm not shit out of Diddy. I'm just keeping it a buck, you know what I'm saying? Why not? Diddy's attractive, you know what I'm saying? Get him off with a bottle of Ciroc, shot of Ciroc. You know what I'm saying? He got plenty of Ciroc, you know what I'm saying? Get him fucked up. I fuck. Actually, I got a website that I'm about to start a movement. It's called P. Diddy movement. That's my agenda for the rest of the semester. Started Kickstarter, I'm gonna set it to a meal ticket, and you know what I'm saying, if I can reach a meal ticket, I'm gonna drop me and P. That's something I would love to do, you know what I'm saying? I think Diddy is a very attractive person, you know what I'm saying? I've always been infatuated with how he dances, you know what I'm saying? It was something about the arms and shit. Just yo, it's just sexy, yo. No, pause, no homo, let's really be honest, you know what I'm saying? Diddy thick, yo. You ever seen a nigga you ever seen a nigga in some tight shit, that nigga thick, yo, and I was that nigga got a nice shape, So, that's pretty much what I'm working on, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna try to hit Diddy before you know what I'm saying? That's what we gonna do. Yeah, I fuck Diddy. I'm not shit out of Diddy.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I told you we were gonna get a little messy, but okay. So let's get serious. We're gonna get serious, and then we're gonna move back to being a little messy. But if you like those intros, we got almost 1,300 in the chat. Hit the like button. It's a free way to support the channel. And if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We did hit 160,000 yesterday. Okay, so let's get into it. So Diddy really had not really been doing much of anything with the two women, Liza Gardner and Joy Dickerson-Neal. They were two of the women who came forward through the Survivors Act. He was really focused on Jane Doe. He's been focused on Little Rod. We know that he paid Cassie within a day or two. But those other two women, he really wasn't doing too much with them. And then, bam, he decided to file a motion to dismiss. So I'll kind of remind you guys, who Joy Dickerson Neal was. It said in 1991, while on school break, she reluctantly agreed to an early dinner with P. Diddy. They had many friends and acquaintances in common, and she appeared with Combs in a few clips of music videos. After dining at the famous Wells restaurant, home of the chicken and waffles, Combs pushed Wells to keep him company as he attended a few things in the city. And she said when she got in the car that day, something she regrets. She said that he intentionally drugged her, resulting in her being in a physical state where she could not independently stand or walk. They went to a music studio, and she alleges that he assaulted her. Then we found out that this was the lady who it wasn't Jagged Edge. Who was it? Was it 112? Basically, members of the band who were friends with her came and said, "We saw your adult tape with Diddy." She had no idea a tape was made. So this is who Miss Neal was, just to kind of get you guys caught up. Oh, Robbie, thank you so much for joining the membership. I appreciate you. Okay, so now this is the motion. Blah, 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 blah. So this is what Diddy's attorney had to say. Without addressing the complaint's numerous false, offensive, and salacious accusations, which the Combs defendants vehemently deny, substantially all of the claims purportedly alleged by Joy Dickerson Neal cannot survive this motion to dismiss because they were brought under statutes that did not exist at the time the alleged misconduct occurred, and against corporate entities that were not formed during the existence. Well, they're there now, and they're how you get your money. Pay these people. It's important to say that Diddy has denied all allegations. On November 23rd, plaintiff filed the complaint based on a purported misconduct that allegedly occurred over 3 decades ago in 1991. Were crimes not committed in 91? Plaintiff erroneously maintains that all the claims are timely, which created we know what the New York Survivors Act is. The complaint must be partially dismissed for 2 reasons. First, the ASA revived certain claims for which the side blah, 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 blah. The 4 statutes underlying plaintiff's claims were enacted years after the 1991 conduct alleged in the complaint, and they could not be retroactively applied to the alleged conduct absent. Basically, he's saying that these things didn't exist, and we can't make them exist for the year 1991. My thing is this. Why did it take you basically, 5 months? And this was the best you could come up with? It took you 5 months to file a motion to dismiss. You have a whole team of attorneys, Diddy. Okay, let's continue. The New York legislature did not express any intent or purpose of these statutes to be applied retroactively. And generally, the ASA does not affect the fund, blah, 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 blah. It says the complaint alleges that over 30 years ago, Dickerson, who was looking to make a foothold in the music industry, agreed to go on a date with Mr. Combs for a dinner at a local restaurant in Harlem where she was a server. So, guys, even small things in this complaint. Thank you, Mary Vodka. You're right. Allegedly. Even small things in this complaint, I feel are kind of like jabs. First off, he's saying Dickerson, but he's not saying Miss Dickerson, but he is saying Mr. Combs. Like little small things are things that I pick up on. Agreed to go on a date with Mr. Combs for a dinner at a local restaurant in Harlem where she was a server. Although the complaint admits that Dickerson's memory is incomplete, it nevertheless alleges that Dickerson was intentionally drugged at dinner. Now, she's saying that things were incomplete because she was drugged. It's not like she just forgot. If somebody did not know they were being filmed and all of a sudden they come up with a tape, wouldn't your memory be incomplete too? Allegedly, right? She's allegedly drugged. It nevertheless alleges that Dickerson was intentionally drugged at dinner. After agreeing to accompany Mr. Combs after a meal, Dickerson claims she was sexually assaulted and videotaped at an unfamiliar residence somewhere in New York. In the more than 3 decades since the alleged sexual assault, Dickerson, by omission, concedes that no criminal charges were ever lodged against Mr. Combs, and there is no allegation that a video recording of the alleged assault is in the possession of anyone or was ever viewed by Dickerson. Now, guys, how do I say this? I have 1 degree of separation from an alleged tape. I'm not saying that it's this tape. I'm not saying that. But I'm 1 degree of separation from a tape of somebody that we have discussed all in this Diddy saga. Now, this tape, I think that the person knew that they were being filmed, but I'm just saying that you never really know who has a tape. And the person who has this tape is nowhere near the orbit of all of these lawsuits. So just know that when tapes were copied, multiple people got these tapes. I'll just leave it at that. I'm talking frat brothers have a tape, not of Miss Dickerson Neyo, but frat brothers. So tapes were made and basically copied and distributed. You remember like old school, you had to have 2 VCRs to connect it to record or to make a copy. Well, copies are made of tapes involving some of the people that are in these lawsuits. And I know about one. It was a male and a female in the tape. So the complaint makes almost no factual accusations about the company defendants. And certainly fails to allege any purported sexual assault occurred at their places of business. It is unsurprising because neither company defendant existed in 1991 when the alleged incident occurred, and the complaint does not allege otherwise. The complaint further alleges that Mr. Combs founded BBE in 1992, 1 year after the claimed incident allegedly occurred. The parent company of BBE was formed in 2004, 13 years after the incident occurred. Finally, this is so much red tape. Why don't you just settle with these people? I know he's saying that he's innocent, but still, it gets on my nerves. Finally, I hope that some of these go to trial. I hope that some of these cases go to trial. No, I'm not in a frat. I'm not in a frat. I'm just telling you that the tape is in the hands of a frat. I don't know. Shakana, I'm looking. I don't know what I can say. I'm gonna go back and see what I can say. If I can say a name, I'll do that, and I'll let y'all know. Finally, the complaint alleges that defendants had knowledge and were put on notice of the sexual abuse allegations made against Mr. Combs from the media coverage, which is alleged to have occurred between 2017 and 2023, long after the alleged incident occurred. So, I don't know. Y'all tell me. Are y'all... I really am... Excuse me. I really am hopeful that the alleged victims get what they deserve in all this. But after seeing everything with the raids and listening to the people who, Diddy has associations with that are in high-powered places, and the allegations that Diddy is a rat and a fed, are y'all starting to think that Diddy's going to get off on some of these cases, if not all? Today is just this one is Patron Resposado in that organic margarita mix. Y'all, okay. Y'all are, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm starting to think as we start to connect all these pieces that Diddy is going to get off on a lot of these cases. I think the court of public, he's snitching. I think the court of public opinion is one thing. He's basically been, the court of public opinion has basically cut off his nuts. He's not going to be able to license his name to make money anymore. He's not going to be known as the party boy, which seems to be not only his bread and butter, but like how he has chosen to identify himself. Like his self-worth is built up on, I know this person, I know that person, I can throw this party. All that's out the door. My concern now is all of these people who risked everything to come forward. If they are telling the truth, I'm fearful that they do not have the representation necessary to really go back and fight Diddy the way that it needs to be fought. He's still going to be doing his freak offs. J Rob says, want to take up for these whores. Who's the whore? We don't know anything about Joy Dickerson Neal's past. We don't know anything about Liza Gardner's past. We don't even know Jane Doe. We do know that Diddy is very sexually active. So wouldn't that make him the whore? Allegedly. Pino Grigio. So it's really weird not being able to hear. It's like thrown me off for like it's been over 9 days now where I can't hear out of my ear. So I don't know if I'm yelling. I've just been so thrown off. I'm getting a little better with the sleep, but everything else is, I am absolutely thrown off not being able to hear. But yeah, so just in reviewing all these cases, seeing that he waited 5 months to even do anything with this, and Liza Gardner's as well, I think that Diddy is going to get away, allegedly. I think that Diddy is going to get away with some of this. And I hate that for these victims. Was it necessary for so many people to come forward to really prove the point? Yes, because if it had just been Cassie and it was settled, we would have had what Cassie had to say. But I don't think until more people came out, these women and Little Rod, did we really have a true outlier. Like we really got to see in depth what was going on. Stephanie girl, thank you so much for the super sticker. Crystal Cove says, do you remember the federal case against Enron, Arthur Anderson, back in the early 2000s? They took down CEOs, CFOs, CEOs, and low-level employees. Let me tell you what I know about Enron. So I did know somebody who worked at Enron, and she said that the amount of drugs being used at that company was insane. In addition to the fact that the people who worked the low levels were getting drug tested all the time, but the high levels were basically Jocelyn Hernandez all up and through the boardroom. Thank you, Crystal. Oh, and I got some Cash Apps too. I got Cash Apps, but I didn't see these till after the live ended. Joyce, Jacqueline, Andrea, Garnita, Terry, Teresa, thank you so much for the Cash Apps. I appreciate you guys. I never remember to put this up. So if you do choose to send Cash Apps and support the channel, thank you so much. You don't have to. I just asked that we got 2,700 people in here. Please like the video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Tiffany GT says, I wonder, did 112 tell her about the tape because they saw she was drugged, but they will never tell. We don't know who will tell and who won't tell at this point. We really don't. The people who were scared of Diddy don't seem to be so scared anymore. Thanks, Tiffany. Okay. So let's move on, because before we get on like the Jeezy stuff, I kind of want to, lighten the mood. So let's talk Neyo. So Neyo has decided that he wants y'all to know that he is a very straight-laced man. Neyo is very, very, very straight. He has, let me show you guys. Neyo, of all people, has multiple women. Let's see. Here we go. It says Neyo confirms he's dating multiple partners as he's spotted holding hands with two of his girlfriends. Neyo is juggling multiple partners at the same time. I'm sorry, let me give you all a better picture. This picture is not AI. This picture is not AI. This is Neyo. It says Neyo is juggling multiple partners at the same time. The So Sick singer, 44, confirmed he's currently in more than one romantic relationship while strolling hand in hand in the Grove in Los Angeles with two of his girlfriends. So you don't go to the Grove unless you are really trying to get seen. If you are from LA, you know paparazzi's always around there. There's certain restaurants, certain places that you'll just find paparazzi. So for Neyo to be walking around holding his two girlfriends' hands at the Grove, shout out to Sipping the Monty. Y'all do the math. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me continue. Oh, where is it? Okay. It says, this is the first time that I've been in a relationship or situation like this, Neyo told a photographer on Thursday, April 19th, while walking with his main ladies. The person behind the camera asked the chart topper if he would support legalizing polygamy since he's a fan of having multiple people by his side. Legalizing polygamy, I didn't know it was illegal, Neyo stated. You should let people do whatever the hell they want to do, he continued. To be honest, I don't need the government to tell me what I can and can't do in my personal life. I don't recommend anything to anybody. What works for me might not work for you or vice versa. I personally have still not forgiven Neyo for convincing his wife at the time to get her tubes tied, then allegedly cheating on her, then then getting the next one pregnant, and then continuing to have children where she was unable to reverse her tubes being tied. So I still haven't forgiven him for that. So that's why I give Neyo a hard time. And yes, this does look like, what is it, like the glamour shots? Oh, okay, so let's continue. But yeah, Neyo has he has many women, y'all. Neyo has many, 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 many women.
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Okay, let me stop. I gotta get okay. As previously reported, the Miss Independent crooner finalized his divorce from his ex-wife Crystal Renee, 37, in February 2023 after she claimed Neyo was stepping out on their marriage, just like the other one claimed that Neyo was stepping out of their marriage. 8 years of lies and deception, 8 years of unknowingly sharing my life and husband with numerous of women who sell their bodies to him unprotected. So she's not just saying that Neyo is cheating. She's saying that Neyo is cheating with prostitutes. Every last one of them. To say I'm heartbroken and disgusted is an understatement. To ask me to stay and accept it is absolutely insane. The mentality of a narcissist. Renee, who shares children, Schaefer 8, Roman 5, and Isabella 2 with the musician, wrote on social media of their tumultuous split. Neyo, who also shares daughters Madeline 13 and son Mason with Shar Carter, and sons Braden and Brixton with influencer Sade Janae, clapped back at his former. You got all these children, but you convincing that first wife to get her tubes tied. Let me be nice. I'll put up this photo. He said, personal matters are not meant to be addressed and dissected in public forums. I simply ask that you please respect me and my family's privacy at this time. Per their settlement agreement, Neyo was ordered to pay Renee almost $2 million to balance out their real estate holdings. The star also ordered to hand over $12,000 a month in child support, in addition to covering their children's school expenses, and paid $5,000 a month in alimony for the next 3 years. Okay, so let's get into the mess, because it got messy real quick. Okay. This is Neyo and his ex fighting.
Diddy Jr.
Diddy Jr.
Tell him about the freak off. He calling the police, y'all. He calling no.
So she's also alleging that Neyo has been at the freak offs.
It was like an anal probe. It was like, I mean, stretching it.
Oh, I don't give a listen. I don't know. You know what you did. You
he wasn't married to him yet?
Police. Tell him the real you. 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 And why we're here today. Tell him why we're here today. Shut boy. Refuse to remove me. Why? Because the commotion. How did the commotion start? What did we talk about? What did I ask of you?
What did you ask of him? I want to know.
But I will say meow, because the pussy was in the building.
All of that is irrelevant. Okay, so you calling the police like a y'all, guess what? Over what? Because he want hoes over the house while his kids is here. While you like to have hoes, drugs, and weed, alcohol, mushrooms.
And
Yep, sounds like a freak off to me.
And tell him about the freak off, Diddy Jr. Tell him about the freak off. He calling the police, y'all. He calling no. I don't give a listen.
Neyo over there not looking at the camera talking about.
It was all a lie. Guys, it was all a lie.
It goes on. She also speaks on being called Crystal's karma. Crystal is Neyo's ex-wife. Y'all sit up here flip-flopping, speaking on shit y'all don't know. Y'all have no idea of what any truth is from any point of view. Ain't never heard a goddamn peep out of me. Hell, I never ever even came to this internet and said who my baby daddy was to begin with. Let's start there. Y'all swear I was that lady's karma, and now y'all swear this mine. So what the F y'all got? Y'all got boyfriends and baby daddy problems? Laugh my ass off. Y'all still laugh my ass off. Y'all shit just not on the internet. Y'all always think somebody mad or bitter and call people like Cat Williams crazy for years. Now, how Cat got in it? How did Cat Williams get in this? We talking about you and your alleged gay baby daddy, and you got to throw Cat Williams in it.
So now why am I in it? And you could have did it.
See, I get thrown in the show. I didn't do that.
She says, and just turn around and find out we be right. But this is the age of the truth. I will sit back and let the truth unfold. He can let me know. He can let me look like the bad guy, but he knows my heart and my intentions are pure. All I ask for is to do right by the ones who is needing you the most right now. I'm assuming she means the children. Her lips look like a baboon's butt. Like the lips, you know, what's the end result? Lips. We got like 3,500 in the chat. Guys, I'm sorry if I go from like high to low. I literally, it's super weird not being able to hear. Maybe Alicia Keys had my same issue when she was at the Super Bowl. That's why that note came out like that. It was an inner ear issue. That's probably what it was. She also says, all this because I just want the best for the ones who need the love and affection the most. False narratives and empty promises. I'll be the villain. If that means standing up for the only thing that matters. I don't feel bad about shit. I wasn't antagonizing. I was pressuring the line for all the right reasons. Now, I will say this. If her assertions about him being surrounded by prostitutes and drugs are true, I don't think that she's wrong for wanting her children not to be around that. If Neyo, and I give him a hard time, I don't technically know what this man's sexuality is. I'm just playing. I don't know if Neyo.
Have you ever been swallowed up? Swallowed up?
I don't know if he's ever been swallowed up. What I can say, those allegations are pretty big. Those are not just play drugs that she mentioned. So if you're around prostitutes and you're consuming drugs and things like that, I don't know if that's a safe space. Now, Neyo, of course, has denied all these. It's important to say he's denied all these claims other than the having multiple women. He's never said that his women were prostitutes, but his baby mama said that. Okay, so let's continue. I told y'all I was gonna get messy. Let's see. Here we go. So I'm drinking my boba tea, talking to my dad on the phone, self-reflecting, and I'd like to apologize for putting y'all in our business. Emotions were heightened, and I want the best him to show up. But I understand you can't make people feel you. I have a good faith. Everything will come together. I think she must have got like a letter from an attorney because this is a about face. You just accused the man of having prostitutes and drugs, and now you're saying you have a good feeling that it's all going to come together? Wouldn't you be taking him to court and having him get mandatory drug testing? Full moon was out, cycle on, postpartum built with frustration and a lot of underlying issues that needed to be addressed. Trying to do that with the problem present made heightened emotions. I'm human. I hurt too, and I want the best for everyone. That's all I was fussing for. Nothing more than some understanding. Ma'am, I got to call BS on your bullshit. You made all kinds of allegations about this man, and now you over here talking about tea? So, I might have to give this one to Neyo. He didn't, other than the polygamy, you made allegations and you're basically doing an about face. She says, I sit up here and do the best I can do with all my kids. I'm not acting above or better than the next person for asking for the next person to do better with me. I will always push for anyone I care for to be better, and I want to be pushed the same. Man, what do you do? Who's pushing you where? For expressing concern just like others are doing in private. I'm not the only person with these sentiments or concerns, and you, me, them, and they, God all know the goddamn truth. You know how great I take care of the babies and how much overtime I put in to overcompensate. Do you have a job? Being a mom is a full-time job. I get it. But I don't. This sounds like she's trying to make amends with him because he's where the money resides now. And why are you trying to prove it to us? You got with Neyo. So whatever you get is whatever you get. If you felt you could trust a man who permed and then gelled his hair, he got 4 Sinbad earrings, a nose ring, and a choker. It is what it is. Let me stop. I'm just playing, you guys. It's just a lighthearted night. It says blah 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 blah. Don't you ever bring your mouth to act like it's anything less or my story is something to be ashamed of. We all have one, but I am who I am today, and I love, I give, and I pour into my kids, and the family is all I concern myself with. I'm human. I have my faults. I've made mistakes, I've learned, I've grown, and I try my best. The only thing I ask in return is for everyone to try their best. To the other person, I just know you ain't bring your playing deaf, dumb, and blind ass up on this internet and start lying. Now, I'm thinking that the other person is the sister. So let me... Here we go. Now, this is Neyo's sister. I told you I was going to get messy.
I'm just going to say this. I'm just going to say this. How are you complaining about him spending time with his children when you don't even have custody of one of your children? Would that be you not spending time with your child? Make it make sense is all I want to know. Make it make sense. Now, we all know why the child is not with you. But the child is still not with you. You are still not spending time with the child. Do you get what I'm saying? Again, I don't have no beef with this woman. I don't have no beef with nobody. Why? Because I am the cancer of the family. I get along with every motherfucking body. I always want peace, happiness, and hair grease. You know what I mean? Like, I'll be over here minding my own business. I can only take so much anxiety.
Y'all, the jokes write themselves. She says she wants peace, happiness, and grease. Sorry.
And I have enough of it in my own little bubble over here. But it's like, girl, I'm just going to say my issue is when my mama blood pressure get raised, because we all know that she is not as to the age where she going to take that case. She going to take that charge. Guess who's going to take that charge? Coley going to take that charge.
So you now you threatening the woman.
So what I'm saying is, you act like this nigga don't got big bad wolves over here on his motherfucking side. You coming with all this Compton shit, which, by the way, once again, also ain't healthy for your children. So if we're talking about things that aren't good for the kids, right? If we're talking about the overall kids is the concern, who in your ear? Who in your ear trying to get your motherfucking ass back on track? Because you definitely aren't. You definitely aren't. Like,
now, when she said that, y'all can put in the comments. When she said that, I feel like it gave some validity to the woman's claims. Like, maybe people are trying to get Neyo back on track. So is some of the things that she alleged true? Y'all, he's walking around holding hands with two women who are alleged prostitutes at the Grove, giving interviews to TMZ about it. That doesn't seem normal. That's suspicious. Is it a coincidence?
Is it a coincidence? Is it a coincidence? I ask you. Is it a coincidence?
Or did he plan that?
What the fuck are we doing? You think because you don't drink and smoke that makes you any better than this nigga as a parent? My issue is...
Well, what is he smoking is the question.
Last thing I'm going to say. Let's not forget.
It's probably not the last thing she's going to say.
This the same bitch that spoke for my mother the first time she hit the blogs with her concerns. When you ain't had not a now conversation with my mama ain't told you shit about how she feel. Ain't nobody on your motherfucking side, girl. Like, I'm gonna need you to find a friend. Like, it's that fucking simple. I'm gonna need you to find a fucking friend. Like, damn. Last thing I'm gonna say.
Neyo. Neyo. I do not know that Neyo is on drugs. All I'm saying is she's saying she based on what she just said, and the woman saying that Neyo is doing mushrooms and such and such and such and such. I don't know who to believe. I don't know who to believe. Carrie Johnson says, Mims, you're a blessing. Thanks for all you do. Thanks for being here and sticking it out with me, Carrie. I appreciate all you guys. Lexi, Neyo is aging like a raisin. How old is he? I think 44. You don't, Lexi, you wouldn't go home with this? This doesn't do it for you? You don't like that pose? Is that what you're saying? Linda, thank you so much for joining the membership. Betty Spaghetti says, do you have an ear infection? Ofloxacin worked for me when I couldn't hear in my right ear. Prescribed for my doc after I came back from trip. No, I have inner ear issues. According to my mom, like I actually lost my hearing as a child, and then I had to go through a lot of speech therapy and stuff like that. I have inner ear issues. Like when I had a convertible, I would always have pain. Sometimes when I fly, there's pain. So the doctor says there's a lot of fluid behind my eardrum or something like that, inner ear problem. But I'll ask her about ofloxacin. See, I'm like 9 days out now from that last flight, and I still can't hear. Mary Alice, thank you for joining the membership. Lexi, thank you for being a member for 3 months. And there's a butterfly, not the Neyo 1 hour photo pic. Are we going? Okay, is this a star shot or is this a glamour shot? Is it a star shot or a glamour shot? Y'all tell me. I don't know. I just know before there was filters, there was glamour shots. And they made everybody's stuff real fuzzy. Like you still look like you, but you don't see none of the acne, none of that. Now, Neyo apparently really likes to lather probably like cocoa butter and Vaseline all over his lips and stuff like that. So you could still see that. But you don't see, they made it so blurry. It was the original filter. That's why everybody and their mama was going to glamour shots. But I don't know if this was like a glamour or a star shot. Y'all can tell me in the comments. I'm sure some of y'all have these. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. Amal Kia. Oh, it's a glamour shot. Okay. Imagine if I just remember the ladies who had like the boas for the glamour shots. Imagine if Neyo had a boa. Let me stop. I do not know anything about this man's sexuality. I just decided to act the fool tonight. So don't pay me no mind, y'all. Pay me no mind. We got like over 3,600 in the chat. Where are we at on likes? We got 1,200. Let's see if we get to 1,500 likes. So for the replay gang, y'all can put how y'all feel about Neyo. I'm curious to see what's going, like, who do y'all believe? The baby mama, or do you believe Neyo? I don't know. I this one is up in the air. I have no idea. But let's get into Jeannie and Jeezy. Okay, so let's start with Jeannie. Jeannie Mai claims Jeezy was abusive, reckless. He denies all of it. Jeannie Mai has fired back at their bitter divorce, asking a judge to deny him custody of their kid because she claims he's been reckless and abusive, but he calls BS. The talk show host filed new legal docs Thursday, obtained by TMZ, and Jeannie makes some bombshell claims against her ex, who recently asked a judge to rip up her temporary custody agreement and grant him more substantial parenting time for their young daughter. Jeezy claimed he had been getting unfairly denied time with their kid, but now Jeannie has a scathing response, hurling allegations of abuse and dangerous behavior with purported photo evidence to boot. In her filing, Jeannie outlines a few different instances of alleged abuse, including claims that Jeezy is prone to explosive outbursts, excessive drinking, and domestic violence. Jeannie cites one alleged incident from April 2022 when she says they were at the Ritz-Carlton in San Francisco and claims Jeezy choked her from behind while she was going up some stairs and alleges he even pushed her down those same stairs. Jeannie claims hotel security intervened and took a report, an alleged copy of which she attaches here. There's no explicit mention of alleged choking, but the report does include mentions of a security guard mediating some arguments between them. The guard also writes a lounge server had reported seeing Jeezy push Jeannie, a second-hand account. So before we get into this, I've been looking at the comments, and it almost feels like there's a divide between men and women here. It seems like a lot of women through these specific allegations are siding with Jeannie, and a lot of men are siding with Jeezy. Then you have the people who feel like he never should have married an Asian woman. Then you have the people who feel like she was with him for the money and that she's lying. If there are firsthand accounts, then we need to look at that. Do I think that Jeannie didn't want to have a baby with that regular white man and decided to have a baby with the rich black man? Yes. Do I think that even after he basically blindsided her with the divorce and she wanted to stay with him, I don't think that that would be the determining factor of her not being abused. People choose to stay in abusive relationships all the time. So I don't think it's fair to Jeannie to say, oh, well, she wanted to stay after he left her. Well, even in blindsiding her with a divorce, it was an asshole move. I was talking to an attorney, and early in the divorce proceedings, Jeannie was asking for some of the prenup basically to be overturned. That's because she's alleging that Jeezy was hiding money and assets. If Jeezy wanted to keep all the assets that he came into the relationship with, there's a legal way to do that. So this has gotten messy really, really quick. As I see it, the messiest part of this is Jeezy. You're blindsiding somebody with a divorce, and you are allegedly hiding assets. That's what an attorney said, and she's actually looking into all that. Rashida says Jeannie coming out with these pics now is very convenient. Where there is smoke, Mims. We're gonna get into Jeezy's response to this. I can't show you all that, but it says in another alleged instance of recklessness, Jeannie claims Jeezy crashed a golf cart they were both in, which she alleges happened as a result of him being too drunk. She attached alleged text between herself and Jeezy where she shows off bruises she says she sustained from the crash, and the text appears to show Jeezy remorseful and apologetic. The next thing is some guns that are left on the ground. Jeannie also claims Jeezy would leave guns all over the house. Okay. When their young child was around, photos of which she also attaches and claims it was incredibly dangerous. For all these reasons, Jeannie's asking a judge to deny Jeezy's request to grant him more custody, essentially saying it would be not safe for the kids. So this is Jeezy's response. The allegations are not only false, but also deeply disturbing, especially coming from someone I love. This malicious attempt to tarnish my character and disrupt my family is ridiculous. It's disheartening to witness the manipulation and deceit at play at this time. My main concern is being an active father to our daughter as I continue to fight for court-mandated joint custody. Rest assured, the truth will prevail through the proper legal channels. As for Jeezy, he's denied what Jeannie's alleged, taking to Instagram with a lengthy statement in which he says Jeannie is trying to tarnish his character and disrupt his family. Y'all, anytime there's like domestic violence claims and young children, I don't know who to side with. I definitely want to see the statement from the person who witnessed him push her. I'm going to see if I can get all the court documents for this. It's nasty. I know that they have one of the cutest celebrity kids. She's super smart. I enjoy seeing her on Jenny's page. Like, she seems like she's cocooned in love. You would never know all the crazy shit that goes on between them. Booty Butter says, them eyebrows arch more than his back. Who is Booty Butter? That Keita says, Mims, I hope you feel better soon. Thank you. I hope I can hear soon. And Miss Kiki, thank you so much for being a member for 18 months. He left his Ethiopian fiance for this BS. Look, I don't know. When I was doing research on Jeezy, I didn't see anything that was like so terrible, to be honest. I mean, there's a couple things with like the baby moms, but I'm gonna see if I can get the court documents so that we can get a better indication of what's actually going on. If domestic abuse exists and he is leaving his pals all over the house and the baby's like what 2 or 3 years old, that's dangerous, and I understand where she's coming from. I can also understand somebody who is in a domestic violence situation who doesn't want to leave. It happens every day. Let's see. Oh, also, she did say that she was her therapist. She was telling people like in therapy what was going on with the domestic violence. So that is definitely something that she can pull from for these court cases. For the people who feel like it's convenient that she's coming out with it now, where's the convenience? Like when you're in a divorce proceeding, everything is supposed to come out, right? Right? I'm gonna go ahead and try to get the court documents, and then we'll go over it and see, who we're believing. I wanted to show y'all this though. This was messy, and I didn't like it. It is basically Instagram thought talking about Yandy's marriage with the dude who is all around town. Let me see. Y'all saw this, right? It was Anthony was in Drew's assistant, Sheree's assistant, and also, hold on. Now he's with Alexis Sky, alleging that Yandy's been cheating on her husband. How long are we going to let Anthony make a storyline for these people? Let me see. I had it queued up. Where is it? Let me just go to the shade room. I know the shade room had it. Or did Yandy make them take it down? No, I'm sure they still have it. Oh, Neyo performed at the Tiny Desk. Neyo always gonna have money. Neyo used to write for Beyonce. Y'all, did Yandy make them take this down? Okay, let's.
Yandy since they got on Love. So I want to just in hip hop Atlanta, and I know a couple of women that he was looking at when I was over at and cheating on Yandy since they got on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and I know a couple of women that he was looking at when I was over at T High's house about a year ago. Let me tell you something, Yandy ain't exciting him no more. Let me tell you something, Mendices is cheating on Yandy, Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Are you getting this? Are you following me? The AA show is reporting live, loud, and proud, honey. And I got calls from people on the show. I've gotten calls from people in the street. Yandy Mendices is cheating on you. Alexis don't know about it, but guess what? I told her.
Okay, so this guy was on Basketball Wives when Jackie and Malaysia were about to throw down because somebody had said that Malaysia's kids were dirty. It was this guy who said it. When Drew, Sadora, and Sheree were having it out on RHOA, it was because this guy was telling each of them things about each other. Now he's moved on to Love and Hip Hop.
About it. So guess what, honey? You need to keep your man on lockdown, honey, because ever since he moved up out of that house, honey, he been fucking everything else. Y'all wind up. Next case. swear, honey. You need to keep your man on lockdown, honey, because ever since he moved up out of that house, honey.
Hello, AA show.
Hello.
Yeah. You're not being a good host.
Yandy is washed up, girl, but I think the small place at her restaurant.
So, in what way would Yandy Smith be washed up? Owns multiple companies, multiple businesses. Like, Lexus did give herself to God, but you're over here laughing while he's saying all this stuff.
I'm going to talk about Yandy because I like her.
I like Yandy, but so Mendeces has been cheating on you.
He went through a whole diatribe about the woman, and at the end of it, I like her. Don't talk about her. Heathen already, you're laughing, you're joking, but this was her apology.
Good morning. So I want to just, address what happened on my live the other night and just take accountability for what happened. First and foremost, I want to apologize to Mendeces and Yandy about speaking on their marriage. And I know I didn't really say anything, but just being present in that situation is not okay. I've been working on myself for the past 2 years, and I don't even partake in things like this. But we were on live having a fun time, just talking about different topics. I was very unaware that this topic was going to come up, and I was in shock. But however, there's no excuse for what happened. It was wrong because I allowed it on my live. And, I really feel bad. So at this point, I just want to apologize. There's really nothing more to really say, but I apologize to both of you. Good morning. So
Alexis has a really interesting story outside of just being like the average, Instagram girl who, I don't know how else to say it. She's quite fine just dating wealthy people, period. That's all she does. That's her shtick. Somebody put in the comments, she thought Fetty Wap was her baby daddy for a long time. He wasn't. On a more serious note, she is a sex traffic survivor. She said that when she was much, much younger, she was trafficked and stuff like that. So when you hear that, my heart kind of goes out to her. And then she is the parent of a child with special needs. So she's, 24/7 on that. But even with that being said, God damn, this was some messy shit. You got to do better. You talking about you giving yourself to God, but you let this man run amok in the palace. So do better. I'm waiting for a day where a reality show, a black reality show, don't have this boy on it. He comes in, he befriends these women, then he talks about them. It was Sheree couldn't pay her bills. Then it was Drew Sidor didn't pay her bills and her husband was gay. He was Jennifer and her friend were calling the kids dirty, and he was friends with Jackie and telling Jackie stuff about Jennifer. And now he's moved on to Love and Hip Hop. Y'all got to figure it out. But I don't want to see him on any more black shows. Y'all, I had a whole nother Diddy story, but that was breaking news, so we came with that. But I have some more stuff, so tomorrow I'll be live. I'm not sure what time, but it'll definitely happen. You guys have a good night. Like the video. Was he lying about Sheree? Well, he took it back. Him and Sheree are like good friends again. So I don't even know. I think that he does this for attention. If he did know any of these things, the way that he chooses to deliver it, I don't believe it. Right, Glenn, but is he credible? I don't know. Kiki says he is messy. Whew. Anyway, have a good night, you guys. Like the video on your way out. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. We have a new goal of 175K. It's a lofty goal, but I think we'll get there. See y'all later.